I'm got to do something wrong. I'm starting to like my team right now, so better change the narrative a little bit here. But guys came back really ready to go. I mean, first day of practice usually is not good. They've been good. Today was good. Yesterday, we did some good things, had meetings. So I think there's a real good focus, and hopefully I did something I've never done. I asked them for a New Year's resolution from each guy, and I didn't want them to put their name on it so that I could just read them off. And it's amazing, the different things they said. But one of them talked about getting more rest and shutting off their phone at night. 3 or 4 of them did. Never thought I'd hear that. That was like, I hope they know they won't die if they do that. But it's pretty cool.
What's yours?
What's my New Year's resolution? I'm going to try to keep all the distractions away from me. I get caught up in the bowl games like yesterday, not yesterday, but watching some of those other ones and realizing that I still think the transfer portal is going to ruin a lot of things, and that's going to be one of them. The bowl games, nobody plays in them anymore. They're all transferring to different schools. But I can't control what I can't control. I got to do a better job of controlling what I can't control. So my New Year's resolution is going to be try not to let the distractions eat me alive. Try to get, if I got 8 hours of sleep, that'd be half a week's worth. So I appreciate that. But just and enjoy a group I got. I got some really good guys, and guys like AJ have really turned the corner, and whether that's going to continue, I think it is. Jaden, I think, is playing his best basketball. Malik today might have had one of his best practices. So we got a lot of work cut out. Penn State is going to create some problems like Indiana State did with their guards. I mean, they got guards that can shoot it and drive it and do a lot of things, but we got some weapons too, and we're going to start utilizing them more and more.
Good segue about transfer portal. This team, was there 2 guys left from last year's team and a new coach?
Yeah.
How
you know
much?
what? And it works sometimes. It does. It works sometimes for everybody. But and the one thing they got to their advantage is 2 of their better players came with the coach, so he knows the system and all that. So that's an advantage for him in that respect. But very good coach, like I said, really good coach. He was a good coach at VCU, good guy, tough guy. I really liked what he's done with his team. Completely different than last year, where they all just shot threes. These guys are driving it, they're pressing, they're doing different things. So I think the one unique thing about this year for me has been the number of different styles, we've seen, whether it be Duke's just solid, Arizona's a different way, and then Arizona gets beat by 20 by Cal, it's bizarre, but there's so many different styles. Indiana State, were they as good as I told you? Did I make that up? Or everybody agree they were damn good, maybe even better. I mean, the big guy didn't play very good. We deserve some credit, maybe we deserve some blame, but so this team's going to have a different style.
Who are you guys, when you're scouting them now at this point in the year, is it more on what Penn State, these guys have done at Penn State, or do you still go back individually and look?
No, by this time we're mostly on us. If there's some kid that's a elite shooter or that, we might look at some other film just to see what he did. But for the most part now, with 10, 12, 13 games under our belt, we're going to look at mostly what we've done.
When you look at where you guys were those first 2 Big Ten games, how are you guys different now that you've started the Big Ten play?
Well, as we always said, number one, some shots went in. I do think we're playing with a little more confidence, and the shots are going in. Now we just got to make sure we continue our defense, because that was so good. And we played those 2 games, and we're getting healthy. I mean, the big 2 would be in that like Wisconsin and Nebraska game was Malik and Tyson. And so they're Tyson's still a little beat up, but I just told him he's going to be beat up. He's a little guy that's trying to play in a big guy's world. So he's going to get beat up, and he has been gotten beat up a little bit. But I think our health and I think our confidence in our shooting has aided to other things. What do we still got to work on? Second halves, we don't feel it's been as good defensively. Our rebounding got better last game, but we got to continue to improve that. And we've done a pretty good job most of the year at turnovers, and so that's something we'll continue to work on.
You got 3 Thursday, Sundays in a row. This is like the old days, isn't it?
God, I didn't even realize that.
Not that much anymore, does it?
No, I don't know when you play anymore. You play 7 days a week, but Thursday, Sunday's okay with me. You know, we'll play Thursday, we'll play Sunday. That'll be good, and I'm looking forward to just playing Thursday. You know, then I'll worry later about Sunday, but I'm really looking forward to playing Thursday.
It seems like Penn State over the years, no matter what their strength is, it has given you some wars. Is that my imagination?
Oh yeah, you know, Penn State, Northwestern, next 2 games. I mean, there's always been wars, and you know, for whatever reason, I mean, everybody has a team or two that they don't play as well against, and whether the coach changes, whether people change, it doesn't matter. It just seems like that's in the works. But I like what this team has done, Penn State. I like their guards are very athletic and very strong and very good. They've got a couple big-time transfers from North Carolina that know how to play. They shoot the ball from long, they take it to the hole, they get fouled a lot. They do a lot of good things, you know, but I think the big thing will be our turnovers. Their press gets them 17, 18 turnovers a game. That's what teams are averaging against them. That's a lot.
How's Jaxon doing, Tom?
Jackson's good. He I don't know, was he out there at all when you guys were here?
A little bit.
Yeah, he practiced a little bit earlier, you know. I don't say we're on a numbers time thing, but we're close to that, you know, where he's just going to bring him along a little slower here. Do I think he'll play Thursday? I doubt it. Depends how he is tomorrow. But do I think by the weekend or for sure next week he'll be full go ready to play? I think so far.
How will you integrate him in terms of rotation and figuring out where he plays and all that stuff?
I really haven't thought about that, and you think that's crazy, but by the time we get him going, maybe somebody else will be out. You know, it's just the way it works. And so I can only, that's back to what I said my New Year's resolution. You bad guy. You made me start thinking of things I can't control right now. So I'm not going to do that. But you know, I think it's going to be good to have him back. I mean, there'll be different rotations. You know, just because Book didn't play last game, you know, I mean, it's frustrating for him, frustrating for us. But certain matchups are going to cause some of this too, you know, and that was a matchup where they were going so small by the end that we needed some experience with some guys. But he's practiced good since he's been back too, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to worry about that until I know he's playing. Then I'll lose some sleep over that too.
What are you seeing from Cohen as he's continuing to learn sort of primarily at the 3 and getting used to that?
I'm liking Cohen. I mean, it's guarding the 3 that's going to be important for him now, moving those feet. But he's starting to learn that, okay, if I don't shoot it great, I can do it in other ways. And those other ways are driving the ball, getting fouled, getting to the free throw line, getting rebounds. He's been a treat. You know, I love Cohen. I think someday he's going to be really, really good. That shot keeps getting better. Free throws are getting better. And as that happens, you'll get more confidence to drive it and get from it.
Yeah, what's he do? I mean, we've seen him a lot on the baseline cuts, but like when he's slashing from the wing, I mean.
Yeah, well, today that's what we told him to try to drive it from the wing because he's good enough where he's so athletic that he can go up and change. You know, it's hard to take a charge on him or something because I think he flies. I think when he gets up in the air, he can move right or left. You know, not many people can do that. So we're trying to tell him to drive it more, but then play off 2 feet. He's strong enough that if he gets in there, he can play off 2 feet, and that's kind of what we're looking for.
I see a lot of guys coming over and talking to Jeremy. How good has it been just to have him around?
It's been great. You know, I feel for him. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I wish he could have been in a couple of our huddles. You know, it reminded me so much of Mateen. I mean, he's in there telling guys what to do, and here he's not even supposed to be on the floor. He was supposed to be up in a box. You know, I worry sometimes that this is going to really hurt him in the near future, meaning I think, you know, as the Big Ten games start, he'll get depressed about some things. And so we got to keep him with us. Eventually, I might move him up to the front of the bench and make him an assistant with me so he knows what's going on, or right behind me. But we got to make sure we keep him engaged because I think he'll still have some tough times ahead of him, to be honest with you.
I don't know if you thought this far ahead, but do you take him on the road trips at this point?
I don't know if we can. The first week or two that we had season, there's some question about whether he can fly. So that'll be totally up to the doctors. But the minute he can, he will. I mean, because I think that'll be part of the, being a part of the team still. So we'll definitely take him with us.
You weren't kidding in the beginning when you said you liked this team. You don't do that a lot. You seem to connect.
No, I really am. I'm feeling. We all know that everybody's been through their ups and downs and their battles, but the one beautiful thing about football that I absolutely love, especially in bowl time, even with some of the average or below average bowls, is you writers and TV does a pretty good job of getting involved in the human interest things, and that's what makes the off season or the extra season better than the regular season. And if you ask my guys, I tell them, if you don't like football, don't watch the game, but make sure you watch the pre and post game, because there's a lot of things you realize, and one of the things that I think we've got to continually build that other teams that I'm hearing of is, when we went through COVID, everybody kind of stayed to themselves. I mean, it's just the way it happened. And so some of those now juniors and seniors that still lived in that COVID era, it's hard to, so we got to do a better job of making sure our guys realize that we're all in this together. And I think that's been one of our battle cries, and I think our guys have been very, very good. I mean, they've helped book, I joked, I got mad at some of you, on what he's gone through. I'd like to see him somewhere else. And if he can have a staff and a bunch of guys that spend more time. I mean, Tyson Walker today, he's in there coaching him. It was unbelievable. I very seldom I have that. I think that shows you two things: the love they have for him, and the fact that they know that if you get that light on, you're gonna be a hell of a player.
Malik too. It looked like Malik was trying to push and shove and challenge him a little bit.
Unbelievable with him. Marty, unbelievable. And so I'd say that one of the New Year's things I thought about is appreciating those guys and maybe letting them. I'm trying to do more things where they take over. And but it's been so long since that's happened because of what we all went through. So I do a better job of that. So coaches got to improve in the New Year's. Players got to improve.
I know at the beginning of the year you talked about how there's not really a big leadership role on this team. Where do you like it right now?
Yeah,
it seems like
it's getting better. I think one of the big keys, and it's going to be easy, and somebody will say something dumb on this, but when your relationship with your point guard is good, that makes everything else better. And then the people that never been in a locker room or whatever, no insult to anybody, but would say, well, why didn't you fix that earlier? That's the other thing I learned watching some of these games. It's okay to go through stuff that's bad. It really is. You can't do it too long, but sometimes it's what helps the good come out of things. And right now, I bet you, I could look at it like, say, the last 6 or 7 games. He's been really, really good. And the other day, he took blame for 3 plays that weren't his fault. And I had to pull him over and say, listen, I want you to admit when it's your fault. I don't need you to admit when it's other people's fault. But I think that's how far he's come. And me, on the other hand, I have an appreciation, for what he's done. So, did it start when we benched him? I don't know. That's up for everybody's debate on when things changed. And, did it start when I did a better job? Maybe. But the only thing I know is right now, I got a lot of faith in him, and I think I can go to him with issues. And that makes my job easier, and I think my team better.